right. So, ever being the mad experimenter, good morning, Red Rock. I had a flash yesterday and decided it was time to return to my roots in a sense. The first fly that really made an impact on me, because I started immediately catching fish with it from day one, was a black and olive woolly bugger. And I know there's fly fishermen all over the world that had the same experience. So what I did last night, in part because I wanted to spay cast part of my time today, and also because we experienced a pretty heavy series of thunder cells and some rain fell, and you can see that the color of the water is off a little bit. So what I did is I pulled out the spay rod, put on my shortest homemade sink tip, which is this right here. That is 18 inches of super fast sinking fly line. I believe it was a type 8 that I cut up for this job, and then a pretty short stout leader. And I sat down at the vise and I tied up a black and olive woolly bugger with a little bit of weight underneath the chenille. Now let's try not to destroy the fly getting it out of the... So there is my black and olive woolly bugger with a little bit of flash on the butt, and as I said, a little bit of weight underneath, and it was in my hat waiting its turn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a loop knot into my 3X tippet, and I'll see if it's worthy as I go. So for Lefty Cray's loop knot, what I'm doing is I tied, without tightening, I tied a little square knot loop. Then I threaded the remaining line through the eye of the hook. And now I'm going to take my tag end back up through the loop that I created. Got it down to this point where that's what it looks like. And now I can adjust to see how big the loop's going to be before I take the main line, go around my leader, and then take the whole thing back through the loop that we formed. And what I'll do is start to tighten it down. When it hits that point, I'm going to lube it up, make sure this tag end is tight, and then I'm just going to tighten the whole thing down. So the reason for a loop knot in that instance, instead of just tying a regular fisherman's knot, is the fact that it may add a little bit of action, swimming action, to this fly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet that marabou and wet that chenille. And I'm going to take a look and see how fast it sinks. So far not very fast, but that's not surprising because the fly isn't truly saturated yet. But as I watch that thing go, now it's sinking pretty good and it's got really good action to it. So on this stretch, what I would normally do to start with is at the bottom, single dry, only wade out up to about my knees, but I want to work that seam from fast water to slow water. But today, because I had this urge to get my spay rod going, I'm going to work it from top to bottom, swinging an olive and black woolly bugger, which I've never done on this stream until this moment. Now, here's the thing. Shortly after I started fly fishing in the early 80s, there was a stretch of about, I don't know, maybe 18 months, where in that time I figured out, I remember saying this back in the day, I remember that I caught 9 different species of fish on an olive and black woolly bugger, then a size 10. This is a size 8 that I tied. But I caught 9 different species. I know that there was sea-run cutthroat, there was resident cutthroat, there was westslope cutthroat, there was crappie, sunfish, bass. I don't know if bass, but I caught a bull trout in Montana on it. I caught a rainbow, of course, on it. I mean, right there we're already up to 9. It was probably more than 9. But the idea was, I thought I had figured it out. Between my float tube and wading Montana and Idaho streams, I caught 9 different species on this particular fly. So it came into my mind last night that I wanted to tie one, and then it came into my mind further that I wanted to fish it, and then the spay came to mind. So here we are. So what I'm gonna do, starting as I said at the top of this run, once I get all untangled and shit, I'm gonna get my shooting head out the top, and I'm gonna start working this down. Oh, I just saw a cutthroat come up. Now granted, he was probably rising for a dry fly, but he may have been taking a quick peek at my woolly bugger. But anyway, I'm gonna deal my line out, and I'm gonna work this stretch all the way from top to bottom, just swimming that olive and black woolly bugger through the current just to see. Oh, there we go. Right off the bat, I did not even have time to cast to this fish up here. Oh my God, I'm glad the camera was running for that whole speech, and then for this beautiful cutthroat who decided that my olive and black woolly bugger was worthy. Now, landing fish on this spay is a little bit more of a challenge, but look at this big girthy beauty that's got my brand new olive and black woolly bugger right out his snout. Look at that, just like that. Now that is a beautiful scene right there, and I could not have scripted that any better. I'm gonna reach right in there and pull my barbless hook out. Look at that, that's awesome. And now we'll see how this guy, yeah, he's like, what in the hell? What was that all about? Didn't last long. With a heavy leader and a 13-foot rod, it's not too hard to horse these fish. Wow. All right. So that gives us an excellent start for the remainder of this swing, and I'm going to turn the camera off, but of course turn it back on. But look at that beautiful dark olive and black woolly bugger just swimming right there in the current. It's no wonder a cutthroat said, hell yeah. Sweet.